going to talk to you today about shoes. What are the best shoes for you? Handily enough, there is a theme. There is a pattern that we can all follow that will suit us all. Now, that doesn't mean that we should all be wearing exactly the same make and model of shoe, but the concepts surrounding what makes a good shoe and what makes a less good shoe are consistent for us all. This is a great shoe. This is an Altra. That's the make, A-L-T-R-A. This particular model is the Escalante 4. It's a functional shoe. What that means, first and foremost, is that it's got a wide toe box. Now, look at the shoes that you have right now. They might be wide here, just where the ball of your foot lives, the part just behind your toes. But I'll bet that forward of that position, what ends up happening is that there's a tapering of the toe box of the shoe. This does not taper. It stays wide further towards your toes before curving around. This side of the shoe is pretty much straight, all the way through to my first toe. It's a straight line. So there's no deviation of this particular profile of the toe box of the shoe towards the middle. So my big toe is not getting pushed towards the midline. My little toe is not being crushed towards the midline. It allows room for my toes to splay in the toe box of this shoe, which is crucial for stability and balance. It's crucial for creating tension further back in my foot through the plantar fascia. Ever heard of plantar fascia? Which is connected to a whole bunch of other soft tissue that runs up the back line of your body. And it's just essential to have that tension if you're to have strength and stability and balance in your feet, your ankles, and your body as a whole when you're walking or running. So that's the functional element, really, of this, alongside the fact that there is no drop from the heel towards the toe on this shoe. The height of my heel is exactly the same as the height of my toe. It's not elevated. So it's a zero drop shoe. That's what they call that. This particular shoe has some nice, but not excessive, cushioning here on the sole. If the cushioning on the sole of your shoe is too big, too thick, too squashy, then as you walk or run, the research tells us that your foot is going to pronate, so turn in towards the midline more quickly than a foot would with less cushioning. Now, that may or may not bother you, it may or may not be important for you, but that's the fact. The other thing that tends to happen with a seriously cushioned sole is that we risk overstriding. Walking or running, but particularly with running, that makes a difference because the further your foot goes out in front of you and strikes the floor, that heel strike, the more of a braking force there will be. So it'll slow you down, essentially. If you ever watch an elite runner from the side, they seem to just float across the surface because generally their foot is going to be landing right underneath them and through. They're not going to be striking out in front of them with a heel and then have to sort of almost like pole vault their body over this planted foot position. The foot just strikes the floor right underneath their body, and they just glide straight over the top. So, wide toe box, that's crucial. Zero drop is nice because that's like your foot, right? You know, your heel is not higher than your toes on a bare foot. Little bit of stack height, I like. Some people like to feel the floor even more than that, and they will have a thinner sole. But you know, for me, this is a perfect shoe. Escalante 4. These are my everyday, go to work, run about the place, just be active in these shoes. I have other Ultra shoes, which are specific dedicated running shoes, hiking shoes. Great company, great ethos, great range of shoes. I used to wear Timberlands. Back 30 years ago, they were my absolute default. I lived in them. Loved them for their just general utility, indestructible, waterproof, wore them to death, several pairs. So what I have here is my functional alternative to that. So in the same way that this shoe has this functional wide toe box, I hope you can see there, so does this one. This is from a company called Vivo Barefoot, and it's kind of a wintry boot. It's got some fluffy lining, it's got some cushioning, and it's got a pretty robust sole, but it's still, you know, it's a relatively flexible thing. I can feel the floor in this, but I am sufficiently protected by that sort of rugged, bumpy, lumpy sole. And as you can see in the state of it, it's a bit grubby. I wear these a lot. This has become my default wintry, go anywhere, mud, snow, sand type of boot. I would strongly commend this to you. I'm afraid I don't know what model it is. Does it say? I don't know. Again, I'm in a same size. I'm in a Euro 43, which is a UK size 9. Oh, it's a Vivo Barefoot Tracker winter boot. It says so on the side right there. Strongly recommend that boot. That's a great shoe. But for the same reason, zero drop, wide toe box, relatively thin stack height, so I can feel the ground. My foot can feel the ground. Finally, these are a luxury. Again, Vivo Barefoot, similar, slightly sort of rough sole on these, plenty of grip, but again, flexible, zero drop, wide toe box. They've got all the features that I love, and they're pink. Look at that. They're gorgeous. I'm a shoe guy. So that's what makes a really good shoe. I appreciate we can't all be running around in pink Vivo Barefoots all the time. Even I can't, sadly. The convention says that at times I must wear proper shoes. But you should know that most of those proper shoes are squashing your toes, making your foot look like a shoe and not a foot. You should have alternatives that allow your toes to splay as you walk, but provide style, support, comfort, and protection when you need it. So try not to spend all of your time wearing shoes that crush your toes, and have a good look at those shoes that you think are much better. The walking boots, the running shoes, and be critical. Don't just believe what the marketers tell you about these things in terms of their support, in terms of what's good for you. Having massive cushioning on the sole of your foot is not necessarily good for you. If you're standing on a concrete floor for hours on end, not going anywhere, then maybe that's really nice to have that little sort of trampoline-y cushioning. That's fine. But if you're actually out there walking and making some distance, it might not be as healthy for you as you think. And having something with a thinner stack height, less cushioning, zero drop, and crucially that wide toe box is the most important thing. And I'll say it again, wide fit is not the same as a wide toe box. Being wide through here is not the same as being wide here. Manufacturers will try and pull the wool over your eyes a bit in terms of that particular description. Wide fit means they'll be wide through the ball of the foot. You need wide there, perhaps, but you also need wide toe box, so your toes can splay. If you look at the shoe that you've got and it's wide through here, but tapers to a point, even a blunt point, then that's a problem. This inside profile of the shoe should pretty much go in a straight line. You can see, straight line to my big toe. Straight line, more or less, through to the big toe. Straight line through to the big toe. That's a feature of functional footwear. That's what you're looking for in a shoe. Any questions, any comments, whack them down below. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us, and I hope you enjoyed the video.